hotel or four-star hotel.
Mhm.
St. Kitts has both. And you also look at the lifestyle of the people as well and how they get paid
Mhm.
and how successful they are, whether it be their drive. Do they have development? Do they have industry? I mean, do they
Mm.
have a bus station? Do they have proper parking? Do they have organized? Matt, do they have street lights?
Street lights.
Street lights like the
Yeah.
red, yellow, green
Oh,
light.
that what you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, street lights, and then I think the it's been way developed way more than us. But Matt, here's where I think I had a big disconnect when I was in St. Kitts.
Mhm.
I took a little time and I went shopping at the supermarket. And Matt, I'm going to tell you, the supermarket is the only place that they use EC dollars in St. Kitts.
Wow.
Anything else, taxis, you're talking about the hotels, the resorts, the restaurants, everything's in US dollars. The only place that you will see is if you do simple commerce,
Okay.
where you're talking, just supermarkets. And St. Kitts, wide range of supermarkets. I mean, very, very wide range.
What about the prices?
The prices is what I was going to get to. Matt, the prices, at least I would say,
Better than ours?
significant. We're talking we're,
Comparatively.
we're talking literally 40 to 50% better than our prices.
40 to 50, is that?
Yeah, and I couldn't understand it because here it is that we have an OECS island, right?
Mhm.
Which has an OECS treaty. I think the OECS islands, everybody knows them: Dominica,
Right.
Grenada, St.
St. Lucia.
Lucia, St. Kitts, etc. But their prices are significantly less. And we're talking simple items, but not only that, Matt, the variety and the quality of items that they get are simply just better than us. And I'm a little perplexed, and I don't get perplexed often,
Mhm.
but I'm a little perplexed by the fact that we joined this OECS group so that we all could be treated equally.
Okay.
They technically use the same tariff books that we do,
Mhm.
but here it is that their products on their shelves are cheaper. And some people might say volume might account for it, but St. Kitts has less people than we do,
Wow.
technically speaking. But you know what I noticed? Their governments are a lot more commerce friendly. Our government here is not commerce friendly. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say our government does not believe in free commerce here.
You don't?
They don't. I don't think the government, because Matt, here's the thing. I went down to St. Kitts, got out of the Marriott Hotel. We stayed at the Marriott Hotel,
Yeah.
nice hotel, Matt. I'm gonna tell you, and
I've been there before.
it's beautiful. It's
Beautiful.
on the water. The thing's gorgeous. I think they have upwards of 400 rooms over there. And I
Mm.
got in, man, and I made a little stupid joke with the lady. I'm like, hey, ma'am, it would be nice if you could upgrade my room because I'm a Marriott Envoy member.
Yeah.
I'm an Envoy
Yeah.
member. I'm thinking, hey, I got some clout. You know what she told me? She says, sir, you're lucky if you can even get a room in this hotel today,
Wow.
because the hotel was filled with guests from all over the place, came down to spend Christmas. Their tourism economy is booming. And not only that, man, they're like, hey, you can go down to the liquor store, but Matt, they're duty free liquor stores are literally duty free. You and I could just walk in there and go buy
Wow.
duty free liquor. So I think some of our rules that the government has placed on us as citizens are extremely harsh compared to what some of the other islands use. So therefore, even with commerce, our ports, our commerce system is fairly harsher than, I would say, probably even all the other islands that I've visited. I visited St. Lucia, I've visited Grenada, I've St. Kitts recently, and Nevis, and their commerce system seems to be operating a lot easier.
Are we doing something wrong?
I don't know if we're doing something wrong or our policy holders up top are interpreting the book differently, or if there's some sort of, undercurrent, I would say, or mental current to systematically keep Dominica down, because their items are always cheaper. I travel to St. Lucia all the time. St. Lucia's cheaper. I travel to Grenada. Grenada is cheaper. Now I'm traveling to St. Kitts. St. Kitts was the worst. St. Kitts stuff was so cheap, Mark, that I was buying stuff on the shelf that I haven't seen in a little while, and
Mm.
just to stock up. But one of the things that I learned over there was, as you know, the ECCB is over there. For
Mhm.
those of you who don't
Yeah.
know, the Eastern Caribbean Bank.
Mhm.
And one of the actually prominent Dominicans actually is one of the deputies over there.
Mhm.
But you know what I learned as well. I was over there talking to some of the radio people over there, and I found out that several Dominicans actually work there.
Oh,
And,
yes.
and they complained that actually too many Dominicans work there.
ECCB for sure.
Yeah, but they did a study to try to find out why so many Dominicans work there. And what they found out, Matt, was something significant. They found out that anytime that they have new positions, they get more Dominican applications than any other Caribbean country.
Oh,
Not only that, when the Dominicans come over to work, they work harder than most of the other people.
the attitude is
The
different.
attitude is different. And they said, hey, look, by 4 o'clock, most of the people have left the desk, and all you'll find in the building is Dominicans working,
Wow.
which says a lot for our culture and our people, hardworking people everywhere we go. We're gonna make it. But there was another thing that happened, which was quite significant, and I think you had it on your show yesterday, was the immigration. And there was a lot of people leaving, and they were like, hey, I guess our prime minister wants us to go out and make more babies. And that works well for people who are not sterilized like myself. I'm sterilized. I'm not making it.
No more babies.
No, but I can't.
Okay.
Even though I wanted to, I can give it a good effort, Matt. But that's about all I'm gonna. That's about all I'm gonna be able to put in. But
Okay.
but here's the thing, Matt. What I found out was a lot of St. Kitts and Nevis and some of the other islands are actually recruiting a lot of our people from Dominica. And the reason why they're recruiting people is that there's this undercurrent in the OECS that if you carry an OECS passport,
Mm-hmm.
it is easy for you to just move over there and start working the next day. Their governments actually facilitate making sure that people who want to work have work visas right away. Now, here it is on your show yesterday, and I was listening because I listen to your show regularly, if not often.
I know.
And they wanted people to go work at the grammar school and on the construction and so on. And I'm thinking we had a lot of our Haitian brothers and sisters come visit us, but the government would not facilitate passports or work permits for them.
Permits for sure.
So a lot of them left. But now here we are asking for work. But the government refuses to grant work permits freely to people who come into work.
And we had another issue as it relates to work, because I actually asked the contractor, I told him that, yes, you're asking for workers, but workers have been complaining that they're not getting paid on time.
Well, obviously, that's something major.
He actually
right?
said it doesn't happen anymore because the banks used to give them some problems with the money's coming in. So
yes,
he said it doesn't happen again.
Well, yeah,
it will not.
So well, there's money, but Matt, you understand what that did?
Yes.
That created some mistrust. So therefore, a lot of people don't want to come to work. So a lot of the other islands, and I'm going to tell you how I even found out about that too, is because it happened to us at Jolly's. We had, and what they're taking, Matt, they're not taking the people who are like the junior clerks. They're taking the professionals and the senior people. They're taking the smart ones. They're taking the people who are hardworking, who want to progress. They're taking those people and they're bringing them. They're providing room and board for those people. They're providing vehicles for those people. And the other islands are literally exporting people from Dominica.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much better for them over there because first, not only do they have a higher paycheck, but they have a better quality and a higher standard of living of life. And they go over there, man, and they're happy. They're happy. You know why they're happy? Because people appreciate them. Now, it's like you're working, but here it is that you get a pat on the back saying, hey, keep doing this good work. You're doing great. We love you. Anything you need, we will give you. We will supply. Just let us know, and we will furnish it for you to go further because they are looking for that. Because here's the thing: they realize that if their society is enhanced, that the visitors or the expats that come back, and I don't know if you know, Tiger Woods owned the golf course over there. He recently sold it to Bill Gates.
Wow.
So there's a couple of huge golf courses over there, but a lot of these people who have money are investing in these small islands. And I think if we as a small island have to succeed, we need to start changing our philosophy to realize that it's these people that we need. We need people with a lot of money to come develop, to hire gardeners, to hire cooks. To Matt, the kind of houses I went to see over there, and I was house shopping a little bit
Mhm.
because I like St. Kitts now, and now I had
So, so you
I
think
got a real estate agent. Now I'm looking for a house in St.
right,
Kitts, right?
right.
Because I just like I fell in love with the place, you know. So I'm looking for a house in St. Kitts now, and I found and the kind of houses I see. But Matt, most of those people don't live in those houses. They live there for free 4 or 5 weeks a year.
Ah,
But they have a maid that's making sure everything's done. They have a gardener that's making sure the garden's beautiful. They have their friends coming down sometime.
like time
They
shifting.
have, yeah, they have that going on. So I think that's a big part of it, you know. And St. Kitts was quite interesting, and you know they did their carnival over there, and
How was the kind of
the carnival is always amazing. You know, it's always amazing.
comparatively to ours?
Well, comparative to Dominica, I would say probably not as good in terms of the size of the bands, the thickness of the crowd.
At least we have a positive.
We do have, I would say Dominica has one thing that's special about Carnival. They have what they call the most original Caribbean Carnival, and we still have that there. But I will tell you something about St. Kitts, though. The costume bands, well, well attended, man. Matt, this was the first time I had ever seen as many male participants in costume bands.
Okay.
And the St. Kitts women were happy to get out there and really show their stuff. But they had one complaint. There were too many Dominican artists in the Carnival band.
Too many Dominican
Man,
artists.
I was over there, and you know, Ridge was over there, Pudas was over there, Trilla was over there, and this one was over. I mean, we had a whole bunch of, you know, Quan Duan was over there,
Quan.
Quan himself. But I mean, Matt, they were all over there, and it was so sweet for us because here we are raising the Dominica flag, you know, and people that are Dominicans in the band are coming up to you, taking pictures with you,
Right.
shaking your hand.
You felt like you were
Matt,
home.
Matt, it almost you were right there at home, and not only that, they treated you so good. It was like everybody was happy to see that you made the trip. Everybody was thanking you for coming down and visiting with them. And one thing about the carnival, Matt,
Hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, we have people here who do carnival, and they start working in probably January. These people have a team that work all year long. So I mean, things were well organized. They were perfect. There were toilets on the road. The route was properly organized. They had stations organized. Everything was properly labeled. Every truck was labeled. Every boutique that sold food was labeled with an authorization letter from the St. Kitts government.
Hmm.
So there was a high degree of organization. There wasn't room for a lot of error. All the bands that had trucks were required to have people facilitating those trucks day and night. As long as the truck was on the road, somebody was near to the wheel to make sure that the truck was moving. You know, you had people checking in to make sure that nobody fainted or people had water. It was very well organized. I must say, I appreciated that.
All right. So Andy, somebody's saying, Matt, Andy's been pretty modest. Dominica is right now 25 years behind.
Well, you know, that again is perception, right, Matt? It depends on what you're looking for, you know. But I think we have really not done very good things with either the monies that we've gotten
Mhm.
or we've not made good decisions. I got to the other island, Matt, and there was a point where I was at the Hyatt in St. Kitts, and the Hyatt is kind of one of the I would say 4 or 5 star hotels in St. Kitts, and we were at the Hyatt, and we looked around, and everybody said, "Skerritt must go." And when they said Skerritt must go, it looked around, and I said, "Yeah, he has to go." I mean, because here's the thing, Matt, we've been stunted. It's almost like we've been dwarfed by these other countries, and it's so hard for me as a person to understand, and this is why I'm perplexed. It's so
Mhm.
hard for somebody as me to understand why our politicians cannot see that everybody else is growing around us, and either we're heading in the wrong direction or they need to get
We-
the hell out of the
we-
driver's seat.
We must be doing something
We
right.
must be, no, I don't think we're doing something wrong. They have to notice that, Matt. If I am leading an organization and the organization is failing, I'm going to resign. I don't know if you saw the Canadian Prime Minister resigned,
As a matter of fact, the Prime
Justin
Minister
Trudeau,
on Trinidad,
and Trinidad. Yeah,
he's saying that that's it.
that's it. But Matt, but time to go is just time to go. I mean, you gotta see it's time to go. We literally,
Somebody says like this: if you're a good dancer, you know when to leave the stage.
you'd have to know when to leave the stage, because then and not only that, even though you're not a good dancer, know when to leave the stage. Because I mean, we've had our I mean, people look at Dominica almost like little brother, like small brother, like we are as the little epitomes of the world. They look at us as a, well, you guys are one of us, but you guys are not performing as one of us.
You know,
So
I'll ask you a question. I think I asked you that before, but it seems more apparent now. Why are the investors not coming to Dominica? Why are the major investors not coming to Dominica?
first of all, man, I'm going to tell you probably the most obvious answer is they have better options. I'm going to tell you, if you told me invest 10,000 in St. Kitts versus
the
10,000
hotels,
Dominica,
except one, which is the one in Portsmouth,
which is the yes,
which was the former
Kempinski,
yeah.
yes, which is yes. But
there's one of the major investors coming in, but in comparatively, nothing going on
I don't think we have to just look at hotels as what we succeed by. I think if I prefer to look at something, I'm going to look at occupancy rate of these hotels. Kempinski does not have a very high occupancy. Well, it's not Kempinski; it's Intercontinental. Now, I do apologize, but Intercontinental does not have a very high occupation rate. And when you go there, you don't see the thing flooded with tourists. I mean, we're talking about, Matt, the hotel is so busy that literally you cannot walk through the door. A big casino. We're talking huge stadiums. We're talking huge places. We're talking live bands playing. We're talking full entertainment 24 hours a day. I mean, I don't think we're there yet. I mean, so I'm going to tell you, our occupancy rate for some of these hotels are low, which scares me, because we're building even more hotels. So I don't know where we're going to get people to put in them.
Well, we're building an international airport.
Well, we're building the international, and that's another thing as well too. Matt, I went down to St. Kitts, right? Yeah. And here it is. I'm on the tarmac, and I get off the tarmac, right? Because we're in a small sunrise plane. And Matt, I mean, I wanted to be there because it looked like all my friends were there, because all of their jets, their private jets were lined up on the tarmac, just sitting there, you know, and my buddy came by and he picked us up, you know, and I asked him, I was like, what's all these jets doing here? He's like, man, these are people's personal aircraft. They're probably traveling to St. Bart's, or they probably went to St. Martin for a couple of days, or they're probably traveling, you know, they have Statia and Sabre as well too, a couple little islands down there. But he's like, yeah, these are private people. They come in, they land their jet, they walk off, they take a helicopter, comes in, brings them across to St. Bart's.
The rich and famous.
Matt, the life is happening over there. And you know,
no wonder you want to move.
Matt, that's where I belong. It's not that I want to move. I don't want to move from I love Dominica, but man, Matt, it's not popular to be here, you know. But I want our politicians to take a hit, because here's the thing, Matt. Here it is that we joined into this OECS contract, man, and probably, and I think we had the same question yesterday in terms of medicine, right? Wasn't there a problem with the medication supply? That's been around for a while.
It's always been around.
It's been around for a while.
Whether we fix it is a different problem.
But we joined the OECS. But you know what we did? It's a corrupt group, and our politicians know it. What happened, and this was, I'm going to probably go back with you. This was 25, 30 years ago. I approached the hospital and stuff at that time. And I remember Mr. Thomas was in there. He was the chief medical officer, and Dr. Naziro was the health. Yes, that's a while back. And I approached them and I said, hey guys, here it is. You have central medical stores, and I can probably get drugs a lot cheaper for you that are better, and I can keep them in supply for you. Like, why would you not want to jump on this deal? So you know what I did? I put together a whole list of different companies that I knew coming from the US that were cheaper. We had some from India as well, and we had some from the Caribbean. And we put all these together and we said, hey, here's a list of things that we can get, and here's the better prices. Right now, you guys are getting them at $10. We can get them at $5 for you. And literally, man, I was almost my jaw dropped to the ground when they told me because of this OECS contract that Dominica is in, they have to buy it from the central medical stores. And the central medical stores does the bargaining for all the islands. But what they don't realize is that here it is that central medical store sends out bids
Mhm.
for items, but these items come back on a bid, but the bid is only as good as how many people bid for it, right? Because if you only send the bid out to 2 or 3 people, you only get 2 or 3 bids, but you don't get the best one. You
Mhm.
just get 2 or 3 back. And if you don't have somebody who's knowledgeable working on that, Matt, not only that, what I understand is that there's a lot of kickbacks going in. So
Oh.
companies will actually put in drugs and say, hey, I'll sell you this for $10,
But two is yours.
but $2 comes back to you. So now it's a money making deal. But here it
Mhm.
is. Dominica is now paying for it at the expensive rate, and somebody else is having a good time somewhere else. So, really and truly, why is our supply chain messed up? It's because 25 years ago, I offered the medical system to put in computers so that we could track everything at the hospital, and they rejected it. And we still don't have computers today, right? Because that's what I did. I did supply chain, I did pharmacy, I know systems. I said, hey, let's put that in. I have all the tools and the knowledge and the people available to do it, and we could do it at a very, very
And some-
convincing cost.
And somebody blocked you?
Dr. Naziru said, we don't want you taking over the whole of pharmacy. And I said, no, I'm trying to fix the thing here for you because it's bad. It's horrible. They turned me down. I left this country not because I didn't love this country. I left this country because this country is going to drive me mad, you know? So we have to understand the government at the time didn't even make the right decisions back then. You understand? So here it is today that we're still ordering stuff from Central Medical Supply. We're paying probably twice the price that we would pay for it if we can bid it properly or get the proper items down. And here's the thing, Matt. Our people are suffering because we can't even keep the expensive item, the more expensive stuff we're paying more for in stock.
And our hospital is always ultimate.
And nobody will come here and tell you that on this show except me, because I know the business and I know they'll come and say, well, we don't have this in stock and we can't keep stock. And I'm like, no, it's not that you can't keep it in stock. First of all, you're paying too much. Second of all, you're probably getting wrong items. So a lot of times they're getting bigger containers when they only need smaller containers. Because guess what? That's what Central Medical stores have in stock. So we're ordering with all these other Caribbean countries who are becoming smarter than we are. Because guess what? The population, for instance, in St. Kitts is a more developed population. Most of them have insurance. They can pay for their stuff. Most of them come from overseas. They can bring their stuff with them. And because St. Kitts is like a couple hour flight from Miami anyway, most of them fly up to Miami to get all their medicals done anyway. You know, a flight back and forth is a couple $100. So there we are. So now we as the poor people that cannot afford those services, we suffer.
Well, we're going to start taking some phone calls at this time. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to
Good
you.
afternoon to my favorite people.
Good afternoon.
Matt, a senior citizen like me, worked to hospital for 29 years. I get enemy because I'm talking the truth. Certain people vex with me. But I can say it because I've been heard from people. I'm getting it. I'm buying my medication now because hospital have no medication. I repeat it again. Let them get more. Thank you.
All right. Well, she says hospital has no medication.
Well, but it's true, and but the reason is, Matt, it's because we did this. We did this a long time ago, and here it is. Now we're feeling the pain and we're feeling the pinch. We've literally not followed as well as some of the other Caribbean islands, and this OECS thing that we're in, Matt. I think we're the least benefactor of this OECS. Everybody else is
So
benefiting
we have
more.
to go back to the drawing board on this one.
Matt, I mean, this is just as worse than the Trump and the tariff and the trade wars that we're going to go into. I mean, you know, we have a new prime president in the United States, and he's going after people because guess what? The tariffs are unfair, the prices are unfair. Guess what, Matt? If we can, we don't have anybody up there that's saying, let's make Dominica great again. We don't have anybody. Who's saying it?
Hello, on the telephone. Are you there?
Yeah, good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon, Mr. Jolly.
Good afternoon.
Good
You
afternoon.
spoke about the Kipinski. Matt, is the Kipinski our hotel, Matt? With our passport money? So I call it a local investment. Because our passport money that have the Kipinski, they at our land for free. Plus the Hotel passport money is our own, right? You go to Kipinski, not even a yacht. You will see outside Kipinski. Nothing. When I saw that, I said, what a big hotel, something, even a yacht you see outside Kipinski, a jet for a yacht. Yeah. St. Kitts is a further more developed country, especially St. Kitts cruise ship. Well, really cruise ship coming in compared to our own. Last our own in the 1960s. St. Kitts is a lot more developed. You can walk around, buy this there, proper shops there. And I see that, I say, yes, I will really behind God back. Bye-bye.
Bye bye to you. But and how was the Christmas season though? I mean, going back to Christmas, how was the season for business?
Well, I think business in Dominica was awfully slow. It was.
Some people say this is the worst they've seen.
It was the worst that I've seen. I've spent about since I've been gone over the last 25 years. I think I spent about 4 Christmases here. This one was definitely the worst, and even New Year's was bad. I'm gonna tell you. You know, usually you see some pickup after Christmas. Maybe some people come out shopping. You know what? I'm gonna tell you the story real quick. We were at the Marriott Hotel, fireworks going off, live band playing, full-fledged dinner, food, ice cream, cake, drinks. I mean, you name it. There were 500 people in the yard at the Marriott having fun, and then all the rest were just watching from their windows in their rooms. And I called my mom and I said, "Mom, what are you doing for New Year's?" And she told me, "Man, I drove around Roseau and the place was dead. It was quiet. The lights all turned off. Everything looked dark and dim." And then she told me, "Man, it looked like people just didn't. There wasn't a New Year's party. There wasn't a this. There wasn't a that you could go to. There was. I mean, there was nothing happening. So Christmas for businesses, I think businesses didn't do well this Christmas. But Matt, you know what affected that as well too, right? It was the boats not showing up.
No, going back to Miami.
The boats going back to Miami or being turned away. We didn't have enough stock, and I think people are getting a little burnt out by that. I think at some point in time you're giving too many people too many things to carry on their back, and this is just one more thing. I don't think our officials are really taking things seriously. It's putting an extreme weight on and I think it's showing up. Look at how many young people are walking the streets right now. They're going senile. And
I'm getting that maybe our government, I'm hearing from a lot of critics that they have lost their creative ideas.
I think the government has lost its way, period. And I think the people on the higher up of the government that are getting paid, there's a lot of people getting paid and not doing nothing in our government. I'm going to just,
you see that?
There's a lot of people I mean, if you had to put the roster of the number of people that are getting paid by our government and not doing absolutely nothing nothing of value for the people of Dominica, I think we probably have quite a few people. If we chop their heads off tomorrow, we would not see a difference.
Would you cut off half of the cabinet?
I would cut off more than half. I would go 3/4. I'm telling you, Matt. I don't think there's a lot, Matt. The press conference shows up. Mr. Skerritt shows up for most things. He shows up for everything. Where's the rest of the people? Where's the rest of the 20-something delegates that we have up there? Who shows up? Nobody shows up. He shows up for everything.
He's the only one answering questions.
Chief cook and bottle washer. I mean, and not only that, I have to tell you, Matt, I listened to his last, and I listened to his last press conference that he gave. And I don't know if
at the end of the Christmas season?
Christmas, Matt, that was the worst press conference I've ever heard from Mr. Skerritt. And I'm going to tell you what part was the worst for me. I mean, this was the one where he was probably approaching people and said, "Hey, we need to probably look at salary increases in the upcoming year and look at raising the minimum wage because." And this is the part where you know Mr. Skerritt is lost. I'm going to give you guys the part. If you want to know how lost Mr. Skerritt is, he actually said we need to increase people's salary because there's been several things that affected the salary over the last few years. And he said, well, there was COVID-19 and then there's the war in Ukraine. I'm thinking, what the hell, Mr. Skerritt? What are you doing? That was 5 years ago. Are you mean to tell me you're 5 years behind us and trying to increase our salary for COVID? You're trying to increase we've had a 3-4 year war in Ukraine.
You're making reference to inflation at the time. Yes,
but that's 5 years ago. I mean, this is 5-year-old information. I could have given you that information 4 or 5 years ago, and you should have dealt with it. You shouldn't be. And not only that, then he comes up on stage, and this is the part where you obviously know he's lying, right? I'm going to tell you when our prime minister's lying. He comes up and said, well, I think the government should actually further begin to engage people. And I'm thinking, oh now you want to engage them? I mean, shouldn't you just give it to them? Because people have deserved higher salaries and more money a long time ago. Dominica is by far our police, our customs, our public servants are the least paid in the Caribbean. I mean, are you going to engage the different groups and organizations now? I mean, shouldn't you have done this a while back? I mean, we've been calling, and I think he's listening to this show because to tell you the truth, I mean, I've been calling to give Dominicans higher salary for the last 2 years. I've been saying, look, people are suffering, their pockets are tight. You know, I mean, I don't know if you know this, Matt. The best thing at KFC is the fries. I don't know if you know that. I don't eat chicken anymore,
Okay.
right? Best thing is the fries went up by $1. The fries were raised by $1. I mean, when fries go up in price, fries is potato. I mean, when that goes up in price by $1, that says that you have some increase going on. So, I mean, for Mr. Scarrett to now come, I mean, 5 years later and say he's now going to engage groups to give people additional money. I said, Mr. Scarrett, I think you're lying once more. I think because you must be thinking of something, or you're late on this program here. You know what's going on? Is he trying to put election, but we're going to give you more money if you vote for us? I mean, he might as well have just said that.
Hello on the telephone. Are you there? Huh? Yes.
Matt, good afternoon to you,
Good afternoon to you, sir.
and good afternoon to Andy in the studio with you.
Good afternoon.
And I want to wish Andy happy New Year and success. I've done that before to you, Matt, and to your listeners at home and abroad.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say I agree with Andy in terms of St. Kitts. I've been to St. Kitts several times. And what I like about St. Kitts is people's interest in landscaping, keeping their surrounding well groomed, looking nice and so on. And the houses, looking very, keeping it pretty and so forth. And the government work with them there. I know from the People's Action Movement, and moved them to in some of it in Labour, and they moved to the coalition with Harris and Palmergate, and then with Labour going now. They assist the people in terms of keeping their houses clean and painting. I remember they had a hurricane, and I was following a program where some people were speaking in an area, but 3 ladies were speaking. And they were saying that at the time you had the coalition in government, Palm and the Harris people in government, and they were saying that they are solidly Labour people, and they were doing a program of re-roofing and covering and helping to repair. And they were expecting to be bypassed, and they were surprised that their name, they were in the program, they did not to go and see anybody. The people came to them and tell them their name was in the program, and then did the repairs to their homes, and they came on radio, 3 of them, on and spoke about it. So that's how country and people have to work and so forth. And I can tell you, they put the order. I remember I was in St. Kitts with, but he's deceased now, Sidney Morris. He was a minister of government. And we went to this hotel and just spoke about that. They give you a package for the day. And you go in there and you eat and drink anything. And you don't have to be greedy, but you go in and you eat and drink and so forth. You spend your day if you want there. So they are organizing how they go about things and governance. And I can tell you, I know of a few young persons who went to St. Kitts from Dominica. Dominicans went to St. Kitts, young people, just for a week vacation, and they didn't come back. They got jobs. They were so surprised that they went to St. Kitts and received vacancy and apply, and they got jobs. So these countries are busy focusing on how they improve lives and how they make people independent and how you work. On the question of Trinidad, you heard Prime Minister is going, Rowley is going. He had a party in Tobago, and that was, I think, his usual year party, end of year party, whatever, New Year's party. And then while he was having the party, you had some murders taking place. And then 2 ministers came, this was a telephone call by him, and then they declared the state of emergency as the Minister of National Security and the Attorney General, and they came on radio and declared this was an emergency. And people actually took that so hard But the reality is, Lula is taking place when the Prime Minister is partying and is not even present to address the nation and to declare this civil emergency. He needs to go to Parliament, and he just called two ministers, and they did that. And they took shot at him, and he felt that was enough. It's time for him to go. And so for in Dominica, you'd have to go calling your name, saying you hate these people, this government, this prime minister, and all this foolishness. So I think 2025, and yeah, I agree, we have to make ourselves a ready people to achieve and to, I mean, we are 25 years behind you, 25 years behind in our development and economic prosperity. So thanks for all the best. And
Thank
good
you,
luck
thank you,
to
thank
everyone.
you, thank you, boss. Somebody said, Matt, Intercontinental, formerly Kempinski, was developed by our own passport money. We had to sell our citizenship to get the hotel. It was not a direct investment without giving up our birthright. Dominica's economy has been in the economic grave, that's how he puts it, for a long time. Dead productivity. Good point, Andy. Dominican's government is too big and lazy and wasted. Dominica is on a dead economic track, and a new direction is required. Agree? Yes.
I definitely agree. And the last caller brought up something about the cleanliness of the whole the whole country, you know, and you notice that, Matt. I think we've had. I mean, I think Solid Waste came out and made a couple statements, Matt. But I mean, we're in the middle of tourist season, and we seem to have garbage still piled up all over the
Wow! I
place.
saw some pictures
I mean,
yesterday.
what's
It's
going on? I
amazing,
mean,
huh?
why? I mean, why don't we have anybody come in and tell us what's going on? I think Solid Waste said, "Well, we're trying to fix the problem," but I mean, Matt, I mean, why did this become a problem? I mean, why are things becoming a problem in the 11th hour and we have no fix? And not only that, it's like I'm going to tell you how poor people work. Poor people work in reactive mode. We wait for something to happen and then we react. And that's really what we're showing the world that we're doing. We are working in reactive mode. We are not out there really saying, look, we are proactive. This is something that we know is coming down the pipeline. There's no forward planning, you know, and it goes back to a good point that I heard on your show earlier this week. As I said, I listen often and
Right.
regularly. And those of you who don't listen to Matt, then that's your fault. But I mean, the stuff happens here. Matt, here's the thing. We had the school thing happen
Yesterday.
yesterday, and I'm thinking, what's going on? First of all, we have ships that are coming, and we didn't know they were coming, right? And they're getting turned away and have to go back to Miami. Now we have school kids that don't know which school they're going to. We have other things going on. There's no forward thinking, and then our prime minister came on before I left, and I remember this because it hit me in the forehead like a rock. You know, he came in and said the reason that we don't have any factories is because our electric bill's too high. And I'm thinking, I go to St. Kitts, there's bunch of solar panels all over. Everybody's house has solar panel. Big solar farms over there, just laid out, Matt, and it says "Go Green." And everybody's going green, Matt. And I'm sitting at my friend's house. My friend has this huge house overlooking with an infinity pool, overlooking the entire Bastille and the airport and everything. Man, and you should see how lit the place is, man. The thing looks like a cruise ship.
Wow.
I mean, every light down there is on. People are bright. You go to the town and there's lights flashing. There's signs on. And then and then I come to Dominica and the place looks like a dungeon. It's like one candlelight every 10, every 10 doors. You know what's going on?
Let's see. Are you the caller? No, I missed that call. Are you the caller? Yes.
Yes, I'm there.
Yes, you're back.
Yes, I like this topic because they are saying when we speak about Dominica, we don't love Dominica. Dominica cannot look about itself. It's the people they put in charge to take care of Dominica. When you have a lazy government, nothing will not work. Lazy people take the most pain. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I love to listen to Andy. He hitting the nail straight on the head. This is another comment there. There are many more. I'm trying to get to it. 4493. Dr. Dell says he's listening intensively. Blessings to you and yours. They never had to any. They never had any creativity. Find out how much what aids left the hospital. He's saying a lot of aides left the hospital.
Well,
They left.
They left. I mean, I think if you, I mean, look, we have a problem with the stevedores. I know you know them as the port workers.
Yes.
Stevedores And there's probably another name for them.
They were owed 38 million.
They owed quite a bit of money. Then
and they brought it down to 4 million.
they gave it to 4 million. But
They
man,
haven't gotten paid yet, you know.
but Matt, this is just money promised. I think that's all it is. But here's the
But I think they got the check in terms of disbursement.
I think they got the check. But here it is that the stevedores are having a big problem of loading these boats because they don't have a good work environment. So sometimes the guys are just not showing up for work. So these guys are saying, hey, if you want us to come and work on the port, right? And you have a port manager which you're paying very heavily, right? And probably unreasonably. Why don't we have good conditions down at the port? Why don't we have healthy work conditions? Here it is that you're now deciding to put cement boats there, and cement, as we know, is a carcinogenic product. So here it is that these people are working in these type of conditions. They don't have the proper ventilations. They don't have the proper shoes. They don't have the proper clothing. I mean, if you're gonna make people work in an environment, make them work properly. Make them do good. And we have to start doing that. We have to start thinking of people and start thinking of our own. And I'm going to tell you as well, Matt. Here we are talking about St. Kitts. That's just the most recent travel, but I came back in October, and since I've been here in October, I think I've been to 5 or 6 different countries. Saints, Margaland, Martinique, St. Kitts, St. Lucia. So I've been around visiting the different countries. Some people ask me if I live in Dominica anymore, but I love Dominica as my home. But I'm gonna tell you, a lot of these other countries have so much fast forward moving projects and fast forward moving ideas, and they're not being done by the Chinese. They're being done by regular people who work there. And Anguilla just came up with the new project as well. Anguilla's putting together a huge marina that they just outlined this week, and you should see that. And Anguilla, if Anguilla puts in this marina, especially before Dominica, it'll be a game changer for Anguilla.
On the telephone, I'm sorry. Somebody said, Matt, it's so true what Andy is talking about. Some lecturers from our college are now working in St. Kitts, and even some of our bank tellers have recently left
Yeah.
for St. Kitts as well.
Yeah, lots more banks in St. Kitts.
St. Lucia keeps expanding their call centers while ours are downsizing, but we like it, so it's sweet. I know for a fact parents are pulling out their students from school and migrating to St. Kitts. So tell Scary, keep begging Dominicans to make children to export still.
Well, and I mean, the problem with the export, Matt, I don't mind you export people. If you decided you export in Portsmouth today, take all of Portsmouth. If you decided, hey, I'm taking, Calabishi, take all of Calabishi and go with you. But what's happening is the smart people are leaving. So therefore, literally, we're having a brain drain on Dominica. So the people that are staying here are not able to move the needle on anything. We're not able to have good engineers. We're not able to have good doctors. We're not able to have good project managers. We're not able. I mean, even our guy who runs the port in Antigua runs the port in Antigua. We have a beautiful port here. We need somebody to run it properly, but no, they're running ports in Antigua instead. And every day I was in St. Kitts, man. It is that we have one tourist boat or maybe 2 that come up. Matt, they have 4 tourist boats. And Matt, St. Kitts has the largest cruise ship village
Wow.
their cruise ship village is so big, it's like the city of Roseau.
Wow.
That's just a cruise ship village. And we're talking about people come off these cruises. They're not in the city. They're in the cruise ship village. They have all the shops, all the high-end stores. They have the
So they don't
jewelry
have, they don't have
shop.
the tents there.
They're not even in no tents. What's tents? I never saw a tent in St. Kitts, man. I think tents are illegal in St. Kitts. But here it is that they've created this cruise ship village, man. And not only that, you know what I loved about the cruise ship village? I spent time in the cruise ship village. I shopped in the cruise ship village.
Okay.
I shopped and I had drinks there, and I hung out there. But what I loved is that it didn't interfere with the commerce that was going on in the city.
Like we having right now.
No, there was no. If people wanted, they could go into the city, but the buses picked them up outside the city. They could stay in that cruise ship village and shop outside the city. Everything was, there were 2 different entities going on. So if you wanted to go in the city, you were really not interrupted. Their traffic system was not interrupted. Their workplace system was not interrupted. So these countries are progressing at a much faster rate than us because we have a great degree of inefficiency. Now you have Mr. Scarrett up there who continuously comes down and tries to convince us that he's doing something good. And I'm going to tell him, man, based on what I see, I have to say, man, he's a big fat liar. He's lying to us. I don't want to call it out like it is, but he's really not telling us the truth about anything that's going on. And he needs to come clean with that stuff. He needs to explain to the Dominican people why we're being left behind, why we're last, why we can't compete with St. Lucia, why we can't compete with St. Kitts, why we can't compete with Grenada, who has marinas, who have tourists, who have development going on. Matt, you know what one of my friends told me? I mean, I got a friend from Grenada, a beautiful place down in Grenada. He had a beautiful store. It got damaged by the hurricane that just passed last year. And he got his insurance payout. You know, he got like a $4 million payout. And he was thinking, should I go back and start business and just keep my $4 million? But he's going back to start. But he actually told, I said, well, why don't you come to Dominica and start something? You know what he told me? He said, even though we have a hurricane in Grenada, we're still ahead of Dominica. I'm thinking,
I think I'm going to play this one at this time. It's 2:10 in 2012, 2012. The Vigilante wrote this one. I'm sure you will agree, Mr. Charlie.
Give it. This neighbor of mine tell me all the time that I would do fine in Parliament. She recommend me for integrity, too much corruption in government. I tell her no, that's not for me. Ah, mama, I was raised with honesty. Oh, darling, I believe a clear conscience better than dollars and cents. I could not participate.
Somebody said, man, I saw our nurses and kids. They have heavy transport by blinging in St. Kitts. When they left, there were 5 ships in port. The grass is greener on the other side.
Those who high in society, they are the ones bringing down the country. Everything is upside down. Everything is back to front. And if I didn't know better, I would swear it's good working in Dominica. Everything is inside out. Everything is back to front. And if I didn't know better, between you and me, partner, I would swear that is what the politicians them want.
To your point earlier, you know, my medical friend says, Matt, I offered to build them. That's Dr. Dale.
yeah.
I offered to build them an electronic medical record 8 years ago. It said the Chinese was building one. So
Yeah,
they're still there.
But Matt, that's what I'm telling you. A lot of stuff that doesn't happen that we're complaining about is not because regular Dominicans didn't offer to do it. I mean, I really don't want people to think. I mean, I don't want the Dominican well, I actually do want the Dominican public to know that there's a lot of good Dominicans out there that are capable of fixing these problems. But we systematically have a system that is meant to just keep us down. And I don't understand this current. This is why when I came on the show last week, I told you I don't think, you know, Mr. Scarrett is a patriot, because here it is that we can do good for the country, but nobody starts the conversation. Nobody engages anybody. And in all the other countries, what you see is that they engage the smart people. They bring them to the table. And don't worry about the check. Half the time, we don't even want the check. We don't even care about the money. It's not the money. It's seeing our country do better. And we just don't have that here as yet. We just don't have this cooperation where, and I don't know why it is. I have no idea why that they cannot see that we don't have to go to the Chinese or anybody else for everything. We have it right here sometimes. Why don't we? I mean, are they not good at finding talent? I mean, why are we outsourcing everything? I mean, pretty soon we're going to outsource the whole of Dominica just
As a
because.
matter of fact, one architect slash contractor told me yesterday, why do they have the Chinese building our Dominica Grammar School when we have so many architects, trained
Yeah,
architects? We have to bring in the Chinese to do that.
man, it's not just architects; it's pharmacists, it's everything, man. It's so bad that we're and not only that, Matt. I'm going to tell you, this country, uh, from my travels, some of the other French islands, I'll tell you, I have my French friends that come down and they say Dominica is becoming one of the worst to come travel to because it's almost they feel like they're harassed when they come here. They don't feel comfortable. They don't feel like we're their brothers and sisters. They don't feel like we want them in our country. And I'm thinking we want people here, please. You know what? Let's get rid of customs. Let's get rid of immigration, and let's see if we can get the population up to 100,000 people at least, and then maybe we can get back with customs and immigration.
You think we should have a duty free for a little while?
Matt, we should just for a little while. What are you talking about? This economy is so hard, Matt. I was buying alcohol for 30% of the price that I am buying alcohol in Dominica for. I mean, I'm not an alcoholic or anything, but every now and then it's Christmas. You want a nice bottle of
Yeah.
rum. 30% of the price, not 30% less, 30% of the prices that we're paying here. We were buying the same bottle for over there. And Matt, it was duty free, but nobody asked for a passport. You could have gone in and bought it. Anybody could have gone in and bought it. So our government officials, all our officials are treating us horribly here. And I want every one last one of them that's listening to this radio show, I'm going to tell you guys suck. Everybody else is being treated better in these other islands. The other islands are living a dream, and we're not living the dream. We're living the nightmare.
Everything is back to front.
What about people criticize and say we washing our dirty linen out there?
Well, Matt, that's the best place to wash your dirty linen. If you have dirty linen, you should wash it. Make sure you get it clean as quick as you can. And here it is, Matt. Here's the thing, man. I want good for Dominica. I want to bring my friends here. I want to stay here longer, but I can't stay here because we don't have the facilities. We don't have what it takes. We don't have a golf course. We don't have recreation. We don't have a nightclub. We don't have anywhere you can take somebody and dress them up and say, well, let's go to this ball, or let's go to this function, or let's go to this great place I know where we can eat, drink, and listen to a nice band. We have nothing. Man, I was in Martinique, right down in Toisillet. Man, every night in Martinique, they had Château Noël before Christmas. I had more Christmas this year than I've ever had out of Dominica. Not in Dominica. They had Château Noël. They had full live bands playing by the side of the street. I was over in Marigoland. They closed down the entire downtown area, brought a band in to do Château Noël. When did we do our Château Noël for Christmas? Or where did we do it? Did I miss it? Or did you attend a Château Noël? I mean,
No.
I love singing Christmas songs. My last name is Jolly, for God's sake. Give me my Christmas in Dominica. That's what I want.
Oh, we're hoping this year will be better. We're hoping this year will be better.
Well, let's hope 2025 going to bring something.
You can celebrate. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there? Yes.
Good night. Good afternoon, Matt. And all the best for the new year.
I wish you the same, sir.
Stay in the house. Hey, Andy.
Yeah.
Man, you are a dose of encouragement. And I love to hear when Matt bring you in. He don't bring you in too often, and he will stay too far before he bring you in. He bring you in at the right time, to interject and to just boost the faith of the people. But Andy, you're saying something right. Let me ask you, Matt. Matt, any person in Dominica that have at least 20 or 10 jet ski where you can bring somebody and have a jet ski ride?
I don't know if we have.
I don't think we have 10 or 20. They do something in Layu every now and then. Layu,
3 or 5.
Okay.
Castaways, Mirror. But these things are not businesses. These things are like little private people get out there. You need a business.
What about paragliding?
Was that?
Parasailing, paragliding,
No,
none of these things.
No.
And you know what? We have some of the most beautiful water in the islands too.
Hello? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Andy is so right. Matt, after the hurricane, Dominica, there was a few guys in St. Kitts in Statia looking for a job. It's kind of difficult to get a job in Statia. 5,000 people, the immigration always protect their people. And I said to him, why not go to Dominica? Matt, I was insulted.
The guys tell me in Dominica in St. Kitts, Dominica price is too low. They could never ever put foot in Dominica to work. The price is too low. Today, they can't work for that. So what Andy is saying is so true, Matt. I was in a conference in Barbados in the 80s. In the 80s, and a conference speaker, her topic was for pastoral. Her topic was greed of a few make it hard for the masses. Matt, we have too much of greedy leaders running Dominica. We have too much of greedy representatives. Greed doesn't start overnight. Greed is not. No one is born greedy, but greed is a process. And what Dominica is experiencing right now is the product of greediness. The product of greedy representatives, parliament representation. Too many of greedy of these people are leading our country, and that's why we are suffering. That's the product we're supposed to get a better product of economical contentment and satisfaction, but we're getting greed, the product of greed. Suffering, the taxes, you name it. That's what we are getting as a result of greed. So Dominicans just need to know what to do. Get rid of the greedy people. And Matt, we are going to see a better Dominica. I'm willing to come over, Matt. I have a lot. I have 2 containers here, packed with bakery stuff, ready to come, but not under the dispensation or administration of government. I'm filling station. 5,000 people. I went to the bank for a loan. When the loan officer see I'm the last bakery open. When they see my bank statement, they ask me if I'm the biggest baker on the island. Right away, I'm qualified. That can happen in Dominica, Matt. I'm willing to come, but we have to get these greedy people out. I'm listening, my brother.
Thank you.
Yeah. But St. Kitts has some amazing bakeries. I went to the oldest bakery. I think they were in 1949. I know Stacia. Well, Stacia, they're right next door. Right. Nevis, all of them. They're all sisters and brothers, and they all work together, which is nice. Yeah. Like for instance, Matt, most of the shops that were in the cruise ship village, Curacao, St. Martin, St. Kitts, Nevis, all of them were St. Bart's, all of them, like they were all together. So they have this nice little network of islands up there that is totally separate from CARICOM that just works. And a lot of people from St. Martin, for some people said got too populated or too busy, and they moved over to St. Kitts. Even I don't know if you remember Grand Bazaar, the guy over there. He moved over to St. Kitts, and he's doing very well over there. He's doing amazing. So a lot of people moved over to St. Kitts, and they're doing well. But I think Dominica has what it takes, Matt. And the sad news is to see it go to waste on a daily basis, to see our natural resources sitting there, but we can't do anything with it. And to see everybody else just passing us by who has less than a... St. Kitts has nothing to see for a tour when you get off the cruise ship boat. But yet, they have 20,000 people that get off the tourist boat every day.
Wow.
We have so much more.
Are you there, caller?
Yes. Andy, St. Bat is beautiful too. We cannot see the beauty of it because it is a rocky place. But you can still see beauty when the vehicles going up that way there. So, because my daughter brought me in Anguilla, she lives in Anguilla, and when her husband is driving the ferry in St. Martin to now, Anguilla to St. Martin now, he's in that place called East Station, whatever it is. That's they are the what do you call it, the corner family. But the places are St. Martin beautiful. They are beautiful, and most of these places, but all those ships that coming down in Dominica there, I come across all of them on the water. There's something fell, and I see them watching in amazement. You understand? The little boats going across the water to do things. And St. Bat is very beautiful, but the people in St. Bat are rich people. So what they do, they stay in there, and they come down to St. Martin, do their shopping, and they go back in. So St. Martin can get settled, but it's more rich people. You cannot buy things there. You cannot because rich people are living there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, Andy, we had an issue I think we haven't addressed there. It has to do with our immigration card.
Oh my God, man!
Touch base on that.
Well, remember last time I was on the show when I came down, because I flew down here and then I came down here and I told you, Matt, something strange happened. Here I was in the airport, in Dallas, and they wouldn't ticket me until I filled out the immigration card, because literally American Airlines has a note in the computer. The guy showed it to me and says, nobody shall get a ticket from American Airlines unless they show that they filled out this immigration card to Dominica. And I told the guy, I said, no way. I said, I'm a Dominican. What are you talking about? I'll fill it out when I get to Dominica. He says, no, it's in the computer here. But Matt, something strange happened. I started filling out the immigration card, and at the end of the immigration card, it looked a little different. I didn't say anything. It's a sponsored link. I clicked it. It says Dominica immigration card ecd.com or something like that. And I clicked it. And when I ended it, it says you now need to put in your credit card and pay $22. And I said, hell no, I'm not paying $22 to go to Dominica. I go to Dominica for free. What's this nonsense? So anyway, I clicked on a lower link and I finished it because I showed it to the guy at the airport, and he got me my he got me my
Boarding
ticket, my
pass?
boarding pass, and my board. So I went on the plane, no problem. I got on, came down here, and I said, hey, what's going on? Because here it is that we have a sponsored link. But Matt, you know what's strange? You can't see the sponsored link in Dominica. So when I search for it in Dominica, you can't find it. So it's geofenced out of Dominica. So only if you're coming into Dominica from a foreign country. So the last time now I traveled and I said, man, maybe something strange happened. I mean, there's always strange stuff
Right.
online. So I went down to Martinique and I was filling out the same immigration card again. And here comes the sponsored link again. So I copied the link and I think I sent it to you on the phone as well. But Matt, there's the sponsored link out there. Apparently, the Dominican immigration card got hacked. And apparently, there's a ransom out to the Dominican government. And the government is perplexed by all this. Nobody's done anything. And I think
Have they made a statement on that?
I think they were going to make a statement last week sometime and let people know, because what's happening, Matt, is that Dominica is being held hostage. Anybody who's flying into Dominica, going via boat to Dominica, and tries to use the card online is being literally, your credit card is going to somebody that you don't know,
So
and that
some-
person's also billing you for $22, and you think it's the Dominican government doing this. It's not the Dominican government. They're hacking people's credit cards on the way to Dominica.
Wow.
So
Somebody's making a lot of money on that.
somebody's making it's ransomware. Somebody's making a ton load of money. I mean, that $22 coming. Not only that, they're not just billing your card for $22 probably. They're probably billing it for more. I mean, I don't know. I never put my credit card in there. But guess what? Once those people get a hold of your credit card, who knows what they bill it for? And not only that, Matt, what I found out is that link does not actually even send the immigration form to the government either. So you fill out this link, you paid whatever money that they ask you, they now have your credit card, and you still have to fill out the stupid card when you get to customs in Dominica.
Wow.
So the Dominican government needs to put some serious approach on that.
Some
Why?
investigation has to be done.
Well, it's going to cripple the country. I mean, think of it. If you start having people doing that to your country on the entry to Dominica, eventually, because it is represented as Dominica, it asks you all the questions like Dominica. It says it's the Dominican government doing this. So the Dominican government is actually being hacked by ransomware right now.
Wow.
And nobody is alerting people or fixing
I
it.
have not heard about it.
Yeah,
Anybody
it's-
addressing that issue?
But again, nobody's addressing it, and everybody's keeping it hush hush. And I'm like, no, let people know about this trash, because guess what, man? If you spend $22 to come to Dominica and you weren't supposed to spend $22, or if your credit card gets hacked on the way to Dominica, you don't have any other means of spending money in Dominica, because it's going to be 7 days before you get a new card again.
Wow. That's interesting. I'm hoping that the police authorities are listening, immigration officers are listening. Hello,
Yeah.
talk to them on the telephone, yeah?
Yes. Andy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good, thank you. Good.
Andy, I want to see you drop up Monbruce, Lower Monbruce now for us to talk. Doreen.
All right, she said she said
We'll make something happen, Doreen, if I can.
all right. 449-309596 again. Are we back to France? So Doran, he says he'll pay you a visit. Okay, thank you. All right, Dominica, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back for more discussion. We're having some interesting conversation here. Let's do this.
Mouvement créole à Soukir. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM qui a présenté Mouvement créole. Tous les mardis soirs, au 6h après-midi. Information, blague, interview, l'histoire, problème, discussion, reportage, apprendre parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement créole. Nous fait un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames, tous les mardis soirs. Tu FM qui est frappé avec bon parole créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement Tibamaïla. Mouvement créole à ce grand station QFM. Voici avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement créole. Matchez ça.
Auto Trade is introducing our very own mobile app. Yes, the Auto Trade app is here. From scheduling your service appointments, request financing, checking our vehicle and parts inventory, to receiving personalized coupons and sales specials. Life is so much easier with the new Auto Trade app. Download the Auto Trade app from the Play Store or App Store today. Call us at 255-6800. Auto Trade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship.
Let's see somebody's on the telephone. Are you there, caller? Sorry about that. I'm getting a lot of text messages here. Somebody said DBS made an announcement about the immigration forms this morning, so maybe they're starting to pay attention.
Well, it's about time. This thing's been out there for almost close to 2 months now. About a month, probably a month and a half, 2 months. Yeah. So I mean, we need to step up our lookout on these things, you know. But as I said, man, I think that whoever did it very smartly. They geofenced it, so people in Dominica don't know about it. So I'm pretty sure our officials are not filling out immigration cards when they're coming back in, so they wouldn't know.
I'm gonna call. I'm getting some information there. It says Carrie Thomas has dealt with it. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica wishes to inform the public that the official sole platform for completing the online immigration and customs declaration card is then they gave the necessary website. So I think
they're trying, but guess what, Matt? That thing is still up. I mean, it was up as 2 days ago, and it's still up right now. If you get out of Dom, you probably can't access it. I sent you the link.
Somebody could send me a link. The link is what I sent.
The link is still up, so it's still up. So technically speaking, we're still being hacked, and this is gonna look bad on Dominica, because here you're thinking that Dominica is taking your money, but it's literally ransomware, you know. So I mean, we don't have a lot of tourists and we don't have a lot of people coming in already, but this is happening, and our ministers need to pay special attention to these things, because more and more, Matt, you're gonna see these things happen. You're gonna see people taking advantage of smaller countries like us. Our infrastructure in terms of IT is not that great. It's very easy to hack, it's very easy to mimic, and people are doing it out there right now, and we have to watch out for that. Our banking system, our money system, all those things, we have to make sure that we keep safe. You understand? So if little things like that can start happening, Matt, I mean, the question is our money in our bank protected? Is our social security numbers protected? Are we protected as citizens when things like that happen with our IT information? When you give your medical information to the hospital, are you protected?
Hello, caller, are you there? Hello? Yes?
Yes, I saying that happened to me that $20 coming to Dominica in December when I was coming down.
It happened to you in December?
I find out those kind of word. Yes, sir.
And you had to pay the 22 US?
Yes.
All right. So, and it's happening to other people as well.
Yeah.
You're right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your information there. We've been exploited. So we need to put our IT specialists in place there.
Well, I just think, as a small country, we have to pay attention to what we're doing, Matt. And not only that, I think there's also an undercurrent in this country that Dominica is for only Dominicans, Matt. And I'll tell you why I say that. I travel frequently, right? And only in Dominica that they require you to have, well, I probably the requirement for most other countries. But only here that they ask you, do you have a return ticket back? They won't let you into Dominica if you don't have a return ticket. And I'm thinking,
I saw it happening
what?
in Guadeloupe.
Well,
Is that Dominican?
Dominica, yeah, they won't let you into if you don't have a return ticket out of Dominica. They don't let you into Dominica.
I'm like, what?
Matt, literally, there's this undercurrent. I don't know if it's a political thing or it's something but Matt, nowhere else does anybody even care how long you're going for, how long you're staying in the Caribbean. But in Dominica, they're literally not letting you in until you can tell them when you're leaving. Who cares? We need to get rid of all this trash. The rest of the world, this is trash, guys. You're the only country in the world doing this nonsense. You're the only Matt, I come into customs and they're still searching people's suitcase on a plane coming from St. Kitts. And I'm thinking, what could you possibly have gotten from St. Kitts that you could bring to Dominica that could be in the suitcase?
And you have to pass for customs when you
Matt, why are they doing these things? Why are we are literally irritating people and turning people away? We need to get rid of this customs crap. You cannot. There should be free enterprise throughout the OECS islands. And somebody corrected me and even told me CARICOM, because the OECS, I guess, is different than CARICOM. I don't know in what way, but somebody corrected me and said it's CARICOM that I should be saying instead of OECS. But Matt, literally, we are still the only country doing all this ridiculous stuff, screening and making sure that we get people in and we keep people safe. And I'm thinking, why are you guys overzealous? Everybody else searches your suitcase. Everybody else has an X-ray machine that they pass your suitcase through. Nobody cares,
But instead of fixing the problem, here's what they're doing. They're telling you to go to a particular site. Not many people, when they travel to Dominica, want to get engaged in all this.
Nobody wants to get engaged in that stuff.
And they tell you to go to this site instead of fixing the problem.
By the time you get to the guy at the front counter, this is not what you're reading. I mean, and if they want to do it right, Matt, what they should do is they should notify people when they get down to the airport here, because I mean, this is total care. This just looks like somebody who doesn't know what they're doing is doing this. That's all it does look like. It looks like chumps doing this. My IT guys could probably do a better job than this. I'm telling you that right now. All you would have to do is fix this site and geofence it out of the world. That's all you would have to do. But we need better than this. This is not acceptable.
Andy's right. Yeah, he's right about the return ticket stuff. Happened to a friend of mine. I saw it happen. I was in Guadeloupe sometime, and I saw an American. She's American, but she's Dominican as well.
Yeah.
And they tell her, you have to travel tomorrow because you don't have a return ticket. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
A Dominican.
Yeah, man, it's strange. Literally, that people are getting refused to enter Dominica, and I don't know who set that up. Again, Matt, here's the system is rigged against us, and I don't know why our politicians are not doing something about this. Our politicians are not paying attention. We still have the banking issue, and I don't even know how we're going to solve this banking issue. I have no words for this, that you can only change a couple $100 in the bank. That is foreign currency. Unless you don't have a bank account.
Recently they changed the amount you can come in.
They changed the amount. But Matt, you know what? Here's the thing, Matt. You are trying to attract guys like me, billionaires of the world. The lady just called about St. Bart's. I just told you. Remember last week I was on their show. I told you St. Bart's is the richest Caribbean island. They have more billionaires that hang out in St. Bart's than any other island. You're trying to attract people who have billions or millions of dollars, like myself. What are you talking about? You're talking hundreds of dollars and we're talking millions of dollars. I mean, what are we coming here to buy? Are we coming here to buy T-shirts for $5 a T-shirt now? Come on, Matt. Nothing costs. Matt, recently, I don't know if you know that, but customs recently increased the amount of money that you can travel to Dominica with. That's what they did. So I think they changed it from what, 10,000 to what? to 10.
I don't think they gave any specific number.
They gave it, but here's the thing.
It's above 10,000.
But Matt, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this is the dumbest administration ever, and simply because who cares how much money you come into Dominica with? Bring all your goddamn money to Dominica, please. Bring every goddamn penny you have. Bring your piggy bank if you have to.
All right, Dominic, it's 2:38 in the afternoon there. If you want to call, now is the right time to call. And of course, we are engaging with Mr. Andy. Saying it as it is, and somebody's sort of opposing the point that you made about Dominica and in terms of customs, because he says St. Lucia is worse than us. The customs check everything. This is what 1%.
I don't think so. I've been to St. Lucia several times. I get welcome in Mr. Jolly. I've been there via boat. I've been there via plane. I've been to the big airport, the little airport. We've never had. I mean, unless you have a big reason, unless your name is flagged under some international watch list or something, then you get looked at. But I mean, I've been there several times. Never had a trouble coming in. Never had trouble going out. They're happy to have you, especially Matt when it comes the wrong time for celebrations. You know, we went across to St. Kitts, and they came across. The customs immigration said, "Why are you guys are here?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "We're here." I said, "What are you here for?" I said, "Carnival." They said, "Go enjoy the carnival," because the Juve band was already on the road. You know, so we went straight from the plane, straight to the Juve band. You know, so people have to understand. We have celebrations. We have Creole Festival. We have OACS. When we see people coming in, we don't need to screen them and ask them what they're coming for. Then I mean, nobody's leaving the U.S. or any other OECS island to move to Dominica to stay for any period of time.
Anytime soon.
No time soon. So when they make it that way, that people want to come here and stay, then let's start interviewing them. Let's start making sure we know who they are, where they are, etc. But right now, they're coming to have fun for a week and then get out.
Somebody says, Matt, you're going to hear tomorrow about the immigration issue because we spoke about it today. But I just heard there from one government official who said the issue has been addressed, but not too much attention was paid to it.
It just needs to be fixed. I mean, this is
not turn your attention to some other immigration. Fix the problem.
This is a scandal. This is a scandal. This is a government scandal. And not only that, Matt, whoever leaked that immigration card and gave somebody the tools to redesign. I don't think you need to. You could probably copy and paste most of this stuff. But here's the thing, Matt. All the OECS islands use almost the same card. All they had to do was make one major safe site for that stuff, which was safe and which was verified. And really and truly, even our own site for Dominica is not a verified website. So even the site that they're referring to you is not verified online, saying that this is an actual religious government site or protected site.
What I find interesting, though, over many, many years, we've changed the name of our airport to the Douglas Charles Airport.
Yes.
But we still, in the airline industry, still use Melville Hall.
Yeah, it still use Melville Hall. Yeah.
So when are we going to change this thing?
Because there's a disconnect. Because we're doing things in this little country and the world is doing other things out there. They don't have time for us. We're not important to the rest of the world. I think what happens, especially I think with the government officials, they pretend that Dominica is a big place, but Dominica is not a big place. And if they were smart, they would start to run us as a small conservative country and make sure you keep our head up, keep our reputation up, keep our programs up, and make us. And the key thing for Dominica is efficiency. We are probably the most inefficient OACS island coming through. And Matt, you know what's the problem again? Here it is. I mean, I don't know if you know this. I'm going to bring this here. St. Kitts has monkeys. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I've been St. Kitts.
Monkeys eat everything. They eat the mangoes. They cannot grow one banana over there. Man, that place is starving for stuff that we grow. The dasheen, the monkeys will rip out all the fruits and all the carrots out of the stuff. They will take away everything. Matt, here it is that we
can feed the carrots.
We can feed them. We can feed St. Kitts. Have we made a move? We're sending all our Dominicans over there every day. But have we made a move to say, hey, let's send some potatoes, let's send some mangoes, let's send some dasheen, let's send some bananas up there? Matt, our government, like isn't this like the branch? Oh yeah, you're taking our people? Good. Here you go. We're going to make some money off you too. That would be the light bulb that comes on in my brain. and said, hey, let's get you some supplies, because those Dominican people, they're going to need Dominican products. They're going to need stuff they've seen or they've used back home. But nobody's making that movement. Why?
Somebody says maybe it has to take an act of parliament to change what's going on there. In terms of you're talking about the immigration form there.
Yeah.
Because something has to be done. I mean, if it's a problem, let's fix it.
Yeah.
Don't refer
But Matt, the problem is that we're not good at fixing problems here. I think we're good at creating problems. We've created so many problems. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, things are really hard right now. You know what I'd like to see Mr. Skerritt do? Show some consideration for his people. Show some consideration for the suffering people out there. First of all, he should leave that house that he's in at Mont Daniel. He does not deserve that house.
Leave the house?
He does not deserve that house. You know what? Give it to somebody else who deserves it. He has not done anything for Dominica to deserve that place. I'm going to tell you that.
But he's building another one.
Matt, even that one, burn that one down if you. I don't care what you have to do. Get rid of it. He does not deserve that. He has not done enough for Dominica. Dominica, for that size house, man, Dominica should be the first in the CARICOM Islands. Get rid of all those houses, those expensive houses. Let's start working on the people. Let's start helping the people. Let's start feeding the people. Let's stop with all this nonsense of big spending and spending like we're millionaires and billionaires in government. And let's start focusing on our poor people here. The people are suffering. The prices are going up around them. And Matt, you know what?
And to your point earlier, cut the government in half.
Cut the government in half. Let's cut government spending down. Get rid of all this nonsense government spending that we have. We don't have the money for it. You're literally causing your people pain and suffering. What's going on? Let's get rid of some of this stuff.
I could not participate in a disorganized state.
Somebody reminds me the government of Dominica has never went to Parliament to officially change the name of the airport. Hence, the reason why the airlines continue to use the name Melville Hall.
There we go. There's your answer for it, Matt. Because like I said, we're not doing things the proper way. We're just changing things around the way we like it. So we need to start getting things right.
All right. Let's play a voice note from Blessings. Blessings.
Blessings, love life, like you enjoy gratitude, courage, and sacrifice. Boy, Matt, I honor Dr. Jolie, the Honorable Dr. Jolie. My brethren, that's the only reason why these criminals are still standing, because the people who matters economically, influentially, if I may say, Matt, they refuse to stick their neck out because they are more scared than the poor people who have to go to these criminals for their daily bread. They are more scared than these poor people, influential people. In closing, Matt, what is happening? It's deliberate and intentional. The methodology that shows where there was a big, beautiful bird, they burn it down to the ground and it rise up again from the ashes, bigger and with more beautiful feathers. The Chinese going to be the one who resurrect the phoenix, Matt, from the ashes, and automatically Dominica will be theirs in a more obvious way. It is already theirs in a subtle way, Matt, because every major infrastructural work is being done by the Chinese. But they're going to show, yes, it's we that raise the phoenix from the ashes, and it's we who help Skerritt to burn it down to the ground in a very subtle way as well. Now we're showing all you in an obvious way, in a clear way. We raise the Greek up, the phoenix up from the ashes, and you cannot tell us nothing. It's just a matter of time. Do not believe me, Just allow time to be the healer, the revealer, and the processor. Blessings.
And then we have not touched on, I think we spoke about it before, we have not touched on the issue of electoral reform. And I keep asking the people, telling the people, yes, we talk about electoral reform.
Matt, did we talk about it? I think I was the first to come on this show and say that we're never going to get electoral reform. And everybody kind of opposed me.
And you don't believe that?
It's not that I don't believe that. I am getting the strange undercurrent. And here's what I believe, man. If you show me that you're a credible source. And if you are somebody that has kept to your word and you've done things the correct way your whole life, you said, Andy, I'm going to show up at 8 o'clock, and at 10 to 8 you're here. If you've promised me to give me $20, and my God, by Friday afternoon I have my $20, I'm probably going to believe you. But I am going to tell you, the politicians that we have now in the labor department up there, they have no interest in giving us electoral reform. And to tell you the truth, I think that's very, very poor. And I think the way that we have to look at electoral reform, we have to see what they did and the lies that they told. And maybe last minute they'll give it to you. But here it is that they have said that they were going to give it to us 100 days in. It was going to be worked on. It was worked on. The money was paid. We're not hearing anything from the attorney or the judge that did the electoral reform, and nobody's talking. And all of a sudden, we have our Mr. Scared who comes up, and he's giggling at questions, and he's laughing at questions, and he's brushing off questions. And I'm like, what is this? Like a game show or something? I mean, only on the game show you can ask somebody a question and they giggle and they laugh. I mean, we're running a serious country here. We're running a serious business here. This is serious business. But I don't think Mr. Scared takes Dominica seriously anymore. So I think it's a big joke for him. I think whatever he does, we've had a few scandals lately, and I must give a shout out to the Signal Band and tell them what's going on here, because that's the new song that everybody, what's going on here? Because literally they literally made a song that was close to 12 minutes long, Matt, right?
Mm-hmm. And
they had 12 months worth of material that every month something happened in the country that they had to say, what's going on here, And Matt, I think, we should actually, if you get fed up with Talk on the Block, we can change the name of this show to What's Going On Here, because I am going to approve this myself and talk to Mr. G and make sure this happens, because I would pay to change the name to What's Going On Here, because a lot of the things that go on, you just asking what's going on here. I mean, we're clueless. We don't know what's going on.
I'll give you a piece of that. I'll give you a piece of this one there, yeah?
Martin Boy, comment box. Stop that. What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? Martin Boy, comment box. Martin Boy, comment box. Martin Boy, comment box. Martin Boy, comment box. Yo! In January, it was zero. Right before this season, DBS went to pay the visit to the prison. No interviews, no interaction. But they want to was the prisoner distraction. Nobody there about it where we are. Nobody there about it where we are. Next thing, wake up in my bed. Look, Mr. Benji, kick a woman in the head. What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going?
Somebody says, Matt, this entire regime has to go. The name change is not illegal, therefore Melville Airport remains the official airport for Dominica.
In February it was zero. Something always happening. Some people think every village have an opening. Big up Oscar, Maho, Grande, and St. Joe. Honestly, I find it hard to pick up Rozo. Stick stuck up. That have to stop. You see how the competition.
Andy, somebody is asking, I know that question comes up every time you're on the radio. Is Andy willing to take a role in running the affairs of the country?
Matt, they've asked me that question a couple of times, but right now I have a few things going on. But Matt, I'm waiting for somebody to piss me off long enough and piss me off bad enough so I can do something about this. Because here's the thing, Matt, I don't think it takes a lot of people to run this country. I think it just takes a few smart minds to get this thing going and get going in the right direction. But we have right now, Matt, as I said, is a lot of inefficiency, and I think there's a large degree of greed going on. Everybody's fighting for their pockets, And I'm gonna go back and give you a little example, man. I'm gonna show you how bad our politicians really are in Dominica. And I want Dominican people to take out their pencil and their pad and listen to what I'm gonna tell you. Matt, here it is that in Dominica we have Carnival coming up, right? Here's the thing: the Dominica government spends a whole bunch of money promoting Carnival, want everybody to come down. They want people to come down and enjoy this Carnival. Matt, but if you want people to come down and enjoy the Carnival, part of it, like as I said recently in St. Kitts, is St. Kitts government is actually helping subsidize their Carnival. They're helping expedite to make sure that costumes get there on time, that the boat's not turned away. They're helping to make sure that there are big bands on the road. So they're providing subsidies. They're making sure that people have water on the road. So Matt, here it is that the governments of the world, and this is not just St. Kitts alone, this is several of the other little islands, they're making sure that these festivals are being subsidized. Now, I mean, probably somebody's going to call and tell me, I'm pretty sure the government's subsidizing something for Carnival, but I don't think they're subsidizing enough. They want to make Carnival big. First of all, Dominica government, I'm going to tell you, Carnival in Dominica is wonderful. However, we've had Carnival in Dominica for what? How many years, Matt? Probably about 40-something years at least. But we don't realize we have the same Carnival dates as Trinidad. Why are we competing with Trinidad Carnival? The same people who want to go to Trinidad Carnival probably could come to Dominica Carnival.
Would you change the date?
I would change the date. I would definitely change the date. Man, the first thing I would do, because you know why? You'd get more people here. Because guess what? If you gave me a ticket today, or I gave you a ticket today to go to Trinidad Carnival or to go to Dominica Carnival, which one are you going to go to?
Well, that's
a tough question. But man, I've seen those Trinidad girls, how they whine on the road. I mean,
I love the spontaneity of the Dominican.
There is that. But Matt, we need to understand we cannot compete with Bigger Brother down the road. Trinidad has more people. They have better bands. They have better calypsonians. Trinidad invented this stuff. You understand? They have the costumes to go with it. So we have to start learning from everybody else and move things around.
So what dates would you recommend?
I don't know. I'm not in the recommending business. That's not what I'm doing, man. I'm just thinking of the situation as is. We have a problem. We got to get the smart minds together to think of what the solutions are. I don't know who those people are, but here's the thing. We need to start having the government take an active role in Carnival, making sure that Carnival in Dominica really is the best Carnival ever.
Just a few weeks away. Hello, yes. Talk to me, yes?
Yes, not Douglas Charles became Douglas Charles. But election time, and Scary rush to do that for Grande and Portsmouth people. You remember that, Matt? That is why when that happened, because we did not go to Parliament. And Mr. Johnny, what you know would like our Calypsonians to have the stadium like all other countries in the Caribbean for their Calypso grand final night. And we should demand that. Bye-bye.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. You have to... There needs to be, governmental support. So you can't go around saying, hey, you have the best on your advertising for people to come here. And one of the things that I noticed about even going to recent Carnival, all the governments put toilets all over on the streets. I mean, they put those little porta potties all over the place. Yes. And here it is that we have not one single toilet that we can use in Roseau doing Carnival, and the whole place stinks like pee when we're done on Tuesday night. So we need to. And we're saying we're into ecotourism. The other thing that they did in most of the islands, and St. Kitts was one of the popular places for that. The people who booked the tourist vessels, they made sure that they had the most vessels and the most people for Carnival, because they wanted those people to come and see their Carnival so that next year they could book for. So they were literally actively marketing to the guests on the cruise ships as well too, while there was Carnival going on. So, but we can't do that here, because if we block the bayfront with a tourist ship, then we don't have anywhere to pass anymore. So what's going on here, Matt? Are we getting our cruise ship village now?
What's going on in the music industry? In September it was MJ and Tappy. I had the MJ hit Tappy a lot. I had Tappy there, he not left him that back. Tappy go live, followed by Candy. When they go front, was that business or robbery? You put your hand
Actually, let's talk quickly about, of course, we've been talking about that for a few days now. Many comments about the garbage disposal problem we have in Dominica.
Yeah, Matt. You know what? I actually had a bunch of guys look into seeing if we could open a garbage company here, waste management company everywhere, and but it would have to be a private industry deal where people would have to pay to get their garbages picked up. I think it's one of the most unhealthiest thing that's going on right now. People are putting the garbage literally by the side of the road. We have flies, we have lava all over the place, and we need to fix it, man. And I don't know who's working on it up there. And here's the thing, man. The problem comes to light when you drive around Roseau, and then it shows up on Matt's radio station. And probably 2, 3, 4 weeks after that, Andy comes on here and talks about it. And Matt, between that, nobody's doing anything. And I'm thinking, at what point does somebody take a pin and stick it in and say, this is a problem, it needs to be fixed today, we have to get a solution to it? I don't care what the solution is or who has a solution. Somebody go out there and find me the solution. At what point does that happen? Because some of these problems are just persistent. They're just staying on here. Garbage has been a problem. We spoke about the garbage. Why can't we get a Chinese truck, put the garbage at the back and go dump it? Why can't we get a private truck and hire it and go get it? But Matt, at what the discouraging thing for us is, at what point does these things happen? And it's really bad. And all I'm seeing, Matt, is and I don't think the people of Dominica see it. The people of Dominica see the higher prices and they say, boy, price is going up. Why is this manufacturer or this retailer selling it higher? But what they don't see is that the governments are slowly raising taxes and duties at the customs level, and they are not even giving the public an explanation. So what the government is doing is that it's raising taxes at the customs. The retailers have to pay more taxes, but the bad light or the bad character comes on the business places when they have to sell those items. And the business people are not speaking out. They're not saying, look, this is not my damn fault. This is not doing of me. You know what we need to go to, Matt? We need to go to a system that they did at Costco where they actually show the actual price of the product, the government taxes of the product, and then the VAT or the other taxes. Matt, we're still in St. Kitts, Matt. We are still the only country that is paying income tax, if I'm correct, out of the CARICOM or the OECS island, because everybody switched across to VAT. But here in Dominica, we have income tax and we have VAT. And not only that, Matt, you know what's bad? And I'm going to just tell it to you flatly, and a lot of people are just going to hate me for saying this, but here's what I'm going to tell you. The inland revenue stinks. You know why? Because every time now your money's going down and they're seeing your revenue dropping, you know what they do? They send you an audit. And they're like, why are you making less money? And I'm thinking, what kind of stupid question is that? Of course you're going to make less money. Why are you making less money? Why? They're asking you this question. Why did you make less money this month? I don't know. It's the dumbest thing ever. You know what? The inland revenue should expect people to make less money. They should expect it. Why? Because the government is doing nothing to help anybody make more money in this country.
Last point I just brought up here. The executive of the Dominica Association, College Association, was on a similar, I think, civic rights program last Sunday, and it was disclosed that the Calypso Association has to pay government $50,000 to use the forecourt of our stadium. Does that make sense?
Matt, this is just another story of what's going on here. I mean, it's just what's going on here. I mean, look, Matt,
and they collect VAT at the gate too,
Matt, again, like I said, what's going on here? That's all I gotta say about it. I think Signal Band make the best song for the year. Props to Signal Band. What's going on here, guys?
I just heard yesterday as well, Andy, that just one break in there, that the government is now going after the NGOs, the non-governmental. They want to tax the NGOs now.
Yeah.
Non-profit organizations.
I mean, what's going to happen to that? They're all going to leave because you know why? These companies come here to sort of help us. I think they come here out of the goodness of their heart, and here you are trying to take more money from their pockets.
Churches as well.
Instead of going ahead and taking and helping them, asking them to help you as the government. Matt, where's all this money going? All this money, is it being stored in Mont Daniel somewhere? What's going on here? What's going on?
And they will talk again sometime next week. And it's back for the new year. We'll be talking again. Folks, this is it for us. Andy, thank you again.
Thank you for having me,
Bye-bye.
Matt.
Bye-bye. Our next stop is our friends there from Flow. I don't know what's going on here, but we'll do what's going on there for a little while.
Chicks run away.